Beep beep bop 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 beep bop. Magical theory.
Podcast time.
Podcast time.
Podcast time.
My magical theory.
We need to look at those like YouTube videos that are like musical theory about like how you make sound like
The Hamilton ones.
the different like chords and tones and
It's
do you
always
go
dissonant.
up a yeah, do you go up
Magical.
a touch or down? Magical. Anyway, hello, welcome back to
Hello.
Magical Theory podcast time.
We took last week off.
Mm-hmm.
In the interim, Winnie and I collided faces.
Yeah, Winnie smashed Jeff's nose.
He's back to normal at this point.
He was bleeding.
It still hurts, but it's it doesn't. You couldn't tell.
It was a whole situation.
Yeah, he blasted
He was
me
very
really
sad
good.
about it.
It was the classic of like I'm leaning to pick him up, and he leapt to get onto the bed, and it just. Oof. No.
Yep, that's the reenactment. Exactly how it happened.
No, mostly I just like went onto the floor on my knees, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And then I guess I bled on my hand, but I guess I also bled on the floor.
Yep. Yes.
Just a little bit.
Yes.
It was actually there was a cut. And that's where the blood was coming from. It wasn't like coming from deep in my nose.
Mm-hmm.
It was just cut. So it wasn't a ton of blood.
Mm-hmm.
At least what I saw.
I don't know. I didn't see most of it. I just saw the drops on the floor.
Because I mean, I got up and went to the sink, and then it just went in the sink. That was pretty fun. The poor guy, he apparently was very upset.
He was so sad. He got
very, very
bonked,
sad.
and he was like, "I did it.
He did.
I did bad."
But we were not mad at him at all.
No.
Accidents happen, everyone.
Mm-hmm. It was also 95 degrees in.
Yes, it was. My goodness.
It was like what,
2
Thursday,
days.
Friday? Thursday,
Yeah.
Friday. It was so hot.
Because then yesterday it was very nice outside. Really nice.
Yeah.
I took a phone call outside for a while with my parents, and then we also did a nice long walk.
Mm-hmm.
Just really lovely. It was windy.
I played Skyrim.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Yeah. I destroyed some people. I have fire casting that I like to use, and that's about it. I just fire people to death. Well, no, that was not how it played out, but I eventually completed a quest, which is so rare for in a stream. I was like, okay, no, stay focused and do the thing.
But you also got 2. Yeah, is that practice for Hogwarts Legacy?
I'm practicing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm practicing because...
Except people want you to not be focused too.
Well, I don't know.
Wandering Wednesdays or something?
I can complete one thing and then go wander.
So it's meandering Mondays, sidetrack Tuesdays,
wait, no, I thought it was...
wandering Wednesdays. No, it's all
I
wandering.
thought it was Murder Monday.
Murder Monday.
It's Murder Mondays.
Yeah. Or Slytherin Saturday. I haven't decided.
Slytherin Saturday would be good. That's when we can pull out the real evil.
And Sunday Fun Day is just you go play mini games. Or Gardic Phone for the week.
Yeah.
Got my Bad Plan shirt on.
Bad Plans.
Which we're playing Divinity tonight, as far as I know. Me, you, and Vin.
Oh, yeah, Divinity.
So you get a couple hours of Divinity in there, and we'll see.
Yeah, it should be
how
chill.
that goes.
I'm finally in spring break, which...
Yes, you are. Yep.
It's been forever. We are in week 12. I don't know. We're literally entering, I think week 12 is the week, not spring break,
weeks
the week
total
after.
are there?
15.
Oh, wow. So only 4 more.
So I'm like,
so
oh
3/4 of the way through almost.
Yeah, usually spring break is in March, or has been in March at other places I've been. This spring break has been in April. I'm pretty sure the whole time I've been here. I don't know.
And I have Friday off for Good Friday next week, and so I think
we're gonna party.
We're gonna play some D&D.
Oh yeah, Jeff and I have been playing D&D. Well, we did one session.
So we did one session where I was playing around with a theme that I've had for a long time, and we'll see how well it plays out. But I realized that it wasn't fleshed out enough to have a consistent game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna staple this theme onto another adventure. So I'm picking I got a book. I'm reading that. It's called Storm King's Thunder. So I'm ready to go. I'm feeling prepared. I have a lot to learn still about like actually staying organized so that when you say like I want to do this, then I like know where to look for that
What does the
information.
exact scenery look like, Jeff?
Yeah,
Paint a picture for me.
right,
What is this person's name?
right.
No.
Well, people's names. I'm thinking I'm very close to buying a screen
Yeah.
because I think the primary. I rewatched Matt Mercer's video about the use of the screen and what comes on it by default, and then like what additions he makes,
Mhm.
and then what he keeps on the table in front of him.
Mhm.
And I was just reflecting on like, wow, it would be really nice to have certain things upright, right? It's really
Yeah.
about surface area.
This is why I
You have
wanted
this, and
a
then you have
third
the front.
monitor with my
Oh,
You were like, "Why do you need 3?" I don't know, that's the question that everyone asked, but then the other profs who went through the same process and they were like,
they
"I
got a
don't
third one.
know. Do I need 3?" They got a third one and they're like, "Okay, now
I
I
need
need a
3.
fourth one." Now let's get the iPad up.
Just put it on the wall.
Yeah, I think I would pretty much well, I don't know, because the angle would be weird. Because I was thinking, like, if we had, like, a big screen to hook up for gameplay,
And then
it
you
might be
look
a
past
lot.
it.
I don't
You
know.
look past the camera up here.
Yeah, that might be a weird what does this angle
Well,
look
now you
like?
have your
No.
Selena.
When I'm staring at this spot at the wall, what does it look like?
Let
No.
me see. Let me see. You look at.
Like,
Oh, yeah, I mean,
"Oh."
you're definitely looking above the camera. I can tell you that much. What if you look like? What if we put it like right there? So like you see the Selena. Like look at that.
Yeah, this is, like,
Are you
pretty
looking at
far.
the
Yeah,
Selena?
I am. I don't know.
It's
I don't
doable.
know.
I think it's doable.
I don't know.
I think it's doable.
You put the camera down here so it's looking up my nose. No.
Yeah, now I think Critical Role does use like iPads or something, but
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not sure what. I think
No,
Matt still
Matt
has a
still
lot of
has
paper.
he has the screen because Wormwood, I'm pretty sure, made the DM screen.
Mm-hmm.
And he has like clippy things that are like
Mm-hmm.
you can kind of see it in the corner of the stream.
Right.
Like there's like paper bits or like little I don't know if it's magnets. I don't think it's push pin. I think it's like magnet strips on around the edge, and then he magnets different pieces of paper. Oh, also, finally, before we get into it, we're gonna see Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore on
Woo!
Thursday,
Yes.
April 14th. We found a time.
Yep. It's gonna
Also,
be great.
apparently, this also revealed like how little I know about going to the movies because there are all these different like options for like IMAX Extreme. That's not a real thing, but it was like
Where you're on a roller coaster.
where I was like, why are you telling me that it's like $25 for a movie ticket?
Yeah, it was like a private two like separate
I don't know, but
smaller
I
thing or
picked
something.
the
But we're
2D
good.
option, which was the cheapest, and I
2D.
was like, I don't need whatever it is that you're offering to me. I don't need it.
That's all we need.
So yeah, Thursday we'll see it. So by this time next week, we'll be able to share a little bit of our thoughts, spoiler free, of course. We
Yeah, at
we
some
might
point we
actually
should
make
do
a
it.
video about what happens, but
Yeah.
I am very sensitive to spoiler things, so I don't want to ruin it for people who are gonna see it.
Yeah. It could be a video instead of live.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right,
One's
wands.
ready. I almost said it until next time. But okay. Turn to page 458. The Egg in the Eye. Today's lesson is called Auror Harry. The chapter begins with Harry preparing a nighttime trip to the prefect's bathroom. It's a suggestion of Cedric. Harry hides under his cloak and uses the Marauder's map to avoid detection. He enjoys the bubble bath for a moment before attempting to open the egg, which screeches all the same. Moaning Myrtle reveals herself and shares what Cedric did with the egg. Harry opens the egg underwater and hears singing, which he deduces might mean there are merpeople under the Black Lake, where they will apparently hide something he cares about for the second task, and where Harry has to recover it. After bemoaning the need to swim and hold his breath, Harry sets out to return to the common room when he spots Bartemius Crouch on the Marauder's map. He goes to investigate why the missing Crouch would be wandering Hogwarts late at night when he drops his egg, which alerts Filch, Snape, and Moody. Filch worries about Peeves, Snape about someone having broken into his office, and Moody about Harry beneath the cloak, and later the amazing Marauder's map. He is particularly startled when Harry tells him he saw Barty Crouch on the map just a few moments ago. Moody asks to borrow it and suggests Harry consider a future career as an Auror.
Dang
Auror
it.
Harry.
Dang it, fake Moody. No.
Foodie.
Okay, I didn't write this in my notes, but as you said it out loud, what are the physics of a screeching little egg that you put in water and it's like, oh no, it's actually music? The answer is magic, I guess.
That's right. Well, I actually like it. It's like the logic of it is really nice as a little encapsulated thing of sort of like that's how merpeople
Mhm.
sound above water if they sing,
Mhm.
but below water it sounds good.
Mhm. Before we get to that part though, there was like this whole series of like, okay, because basically Cedric told Harry,
Yeah,
go to the prefect's bathroom. Here's the password, like
right.
literally giving it to Harry. And
Pine scent or something. Yeah,
Harry's like,
pine.
no.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm grumpy because I'm a teenager and
Yes,
you're
I
with
think
the
in the
girl that I
last
like.
chapter
Yeah.
he's like, but then on the other side of the new year he's like, oh
He's like,
boy,
yeah, I
I
might
better get
die.
down to this.
So,
He tells Hermione he's done.
but there's like all these things with, okay, and I will disclose, I read this last week, so I did not revisit why I wrote this
I read
down.
it an hour
So
ago.
statue of Boris the Bewildered.
Hmm.
So I was thinking about
Old Boris.
this is a thing,
Could we see that statue?
possibly. Possibly. This is a thing of like people having by names or epithets
Hmm.
where it's like,
Alexander the Great.
yes,
Hmm.
exactly. We also have in the wizarding world Herpo the Foul. So
Hmm.
there's like there were,
Harry the Potter, the
yeah.
chosen one.
So there were naming conventions of like, part of it is just like, oh, it wasn't popular for people to use last names,
What's my
surnames.
epithet?
Jeffrey the Auror. You could just be like
Lynette, the professor.
yes, yeah. That's it. That's it. Um, but at what point do you think that they stopped referring to people with those names? Also, are the names only bad? Like we know of a
Alexander the Great.
but do we know of a wizard that's the great? Gandalf the Grey.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I feel like it is more common to have it be some kind of negative thing.
Yeah.
I think when did people abandon doing that? I wonder if there are people alive right now that have like epithets.
Well, because I'm wondering if like, okay, like
Doesn't seem like it.
let's take our baddies that we dislike, like Lockhart the, well, his name is Gilderoy, I guess, but like
Well, also, does it? I wonder about this. Does it happen posthumously, where it's like later generations looking back on history are like, "Oh, hey,
but that's what I'm thinking is like it
Ivan
doesn't,
is terrible.
yeah, it
Let's call
doesn't
him
make
Ivan the
sense
Terrible."
for, well, unless you're just like, oh, this Ivan, oh no, Ivan the Terrible, and so then it
Let's not
becomes
go to that
Mark.
Denny's. Let's go to the good Denny's.
But I think that yeah, I think that there's like some sort of legacy thing that if there were to be like continued this weird whatever naming convention, that it would be after the fact, and then it would be like, let's distinguish it by this person who has this distinguishable characteristic, because like this person's name is Bewildered. That is their legacy, is you are Boris the Bewildered.
Hmm.
Good job.
Hmm.
That's what people
Good thing he didn't come back as a ghost and to hear
remember.
everyone calling him that. He's like, "Oh man,
Tom the
riddle
true,
wrapped
true.
in an
Just
enigma."
just a riddle. Oh my gosh. So in the we got the egg. We got the song. I was
Hmm.
gonna say poem, it's a song.
Hmm.
Harry memorizes it, and there's a line in there, and he kind of think turns it over for a second, but it's just like it's more pressing that he's trying to figure out like what's the deal with the Black
What's the
Lake?
deal?
Like, how am I supposed to breathe
Yeah,
and swim? Well, he doesn't know how
yeah,
to swim. That's the
right.
more pressing issue.
He
Is
talks
that he
about the
doesn't know how to swim.
Dursleys, yeah, those jerks,
But
hoping he would drown.
my question is,
Yeah.
was the original plan for whatever the line is? Was the plan for the Merpeople to originally take an object and not a person? Because the line of "too late, it's gone, it won't come back" is pretty.
It's look, it's very dark. In the movie, it's shortened. It's just the
Yeah.
first
Stanza or
stanza
whatever.
and the second one or the third
Mm.
one.
Mm.
Um, yeah,
I'm sorry, you're gonna bring back this Triwizard Tournament, and not only that, you're gonna put this at so high of a
I'm
stake.
pretty sure in the book, though I could be wrong about this,
Mhm.
that we do get somewhat of a throwaway line that like
That
Dumbledore is
explains.
angry that it was people.
Well, yeah, because it seems
And it's not even like doppelgangers or something.
right.
It's
So the
literally them.
reason why it seemed like, well, everything about this tournament is sus. First of all, somebody put Harry Potter's name in the Goblet of Fire. Second of all, like
Did you pretend to make a goblet of
it
fire?
seems like, yeah, you don't want to put the whole reason, although I guess maybe that's how they're covering it up of like there's this big deal about being 17 or older or whatever. But like to those other people, I don't think are 17. So like this whole
No.
situation, I mean, I know I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but it seems to make more sense like for a ministry sign off, like, all right, this is good to go
Well, I'm
for
pretty
it to be
sure
an
Fleur's
object.
sister is only there because it's like family visiting weekend to go watch them or whatever. And then also the Weasleys are there, and then Ron just drowns and
Oh
dies.
my God.
Spoilers.
I just had like a flash connection. It's not a flashback or forward or anything. I just had like a flash to Critical Role when you're like, oh, they're just visiting and then get kidnapped and then something happens. Don't worry. Yeah. It seems like it should be an object, something valuable.
Agreed. Agreed. Nevertheless, we got creepy Myrtle
Myrtle, I wrote some things about Myrtle.
creeping.
Because she's, well, I don't know. I don't know if we've talked about this because this was mentioned. I forgot about this until I started looking into Olive Hornby was like part of the Myrtle's telling of her death story
Yes.
in Chamber of
She
Secrets.
made fun of her or something,
Yeah,
right?
so Myrtle's whole thing is that like, okay, so ghosts in general, their deal is that they have something that can't let them pass on. So then they're just like forever existing because they can't. I think I wrote it down. It's unfinished business, whether in the form of fear, guilt, regrets, or overt attachment to the material world.
Hmm.
Kind of sucks because you're basically like Binns is just gonna be teacher forever, doing that forever.
Mhm.
Good job. So when Myrtle died,
Yeah.
well, also Olive found the body. So this was the
Right.
other thing. And so Myrtle's whole deal was like, I'm just going to haunt you for the rest of your life. And apparently, like, she did so. And not only while Olive was at Hogwarts, but when Olive graduated and left Hogwarts, Myrtle, like, stalked her and haunted her and all this. So much so that Olive went to the Ministry of Magic to get basically a restraining order.
That's fantastic.
So the ministry ruled that Myrtle couldn't
That's
leave
fantastic.
Hogwarts. And so basically she's just trapped in Hogwarts.
That's so great. I love that so much. Yeah.
And it's just like, oh no. Oh no.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Oh no. So that's all I wrote about Myrtle was this backstory of her whole, well, because she's just like rambling on to Harry. And it's
In your
really
ghost
sad.
research, was there anything about them being released from their ghostdom?
Yeah, I remember we kind of wondered about this
Because other
previously.
pop culture does that, right? Where it's like, oh, now I can finally move on type thing.
I don't. Well, okay, it's hard because as we know, as people who scour wikis, like it's hard when there's no reference,
Hmm.
there's no source. So supposedly there's like quotes later on, and we'll have to look. I didn't get a chance to go look in the later books. There's supposedly a quote that kind of both by Snape and by, I don't know if it was nearly another ghost, that their soul kind of like is imbued or detached or something. It seems like they can't. Is I guess the implication that
It's
I'm
an eternal
inferring.
choice. Post the heat death of the universe.
Yeah.
Nearly headless Nick is still floating around.
However, in the stuff that I was looking at, because there are Reddit like threads and like Quora forums and all this stuff where people are wondering the same things. There's no definitive like
Yeah.
statement that's
Yeah.
like this yes or no. it just seems that, and especially like we see like the ghost in like Hogwarts Legacy. Well, because so that makes sense that there's a lot of ghosts in Hogwarts, because like if it's about unfinished business and there's stuff that happens at that school that's very like a lot of stuff happens at Hogwarts. Let's be real, like that's why there's a whole Hogwarts a history book, because all this stuff happens at Hogwarts. It makes sense that there's a lot of ghosts there because a lot of stuff happens, a lot of conflict, a lot of death, and it's just a magic school for kids. People die. That's to be expected.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well. Also,
I wonder if all the ghosts regret becoming ghosts.
So one of the quotes I was looking at, it felt like a tinge of, I don't know if regret is the right word, but kind of like a wondering of like, was this the right choice? I don't think it was kind of like, when I think of regret, I think of like,
in my
you're
head
kind of pained
canon,
by the choice or something.
In my head canon, it's not permanent. That there is some type of resolution that could occur.
Mm-hmm.
Like if nearly headless Nick was able to join the headless hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Or if Hogwarts gets destroyed, all the Hogwarts ghosts probably leave.
Yes, but so like, well, this was the discussion about Myrtle, is that if Myrtle's like grounding was like, I need to get back at Olive Hornby, and she says like Olive is dead by the time.
Olive is dead?
Yeah, so I think this is actually in a later book, but I did find the quote. Olive is gone. So I don't know, like that didn't release Myrtle, unless the thing is, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Nor did destroying the thing that killed her and all that. Yeah.
Right.
Well, all right.
Also, there's a division.
New headcanon.
There's a division in the Department for Regulation and Control of Magical Creatures, whatever the official title for that department is. There's a division in there that's for spirits.
Oh.
And supposedly, ghost lobbied is not the right word, because that's a weird image, but they basically were upset because they were previously referred to as beings, and they were like, this is so insensitive, we're basically like has-beens, like we're not beings anymore. And so then they made a term
not to be beings.
Yeah. So they are in the category of spirits like poltergeist and I don't know what Boggarts. I think Boggarts and Dementors are in that category. I could be misremembering what I read, but
very interesting.
Spirits was a thing that ghosts were like, yeah, we don't want to be beings because we're not beings. So
that's interesting.
Yeah. Ghosts have feelings. Myrtle has said it.
Yeah, clearly she has feelings. Yes.
She has a lot of feelings.
Can't fake that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So Harry's ready to roll on the second task. Well, at least not exactly, but he's ready to start on the second task.
Well, the whole scene playing out, this is not in the movies, but I wish that it were, where Harry is like under the invisibility cloak and then drops the egg. Oh, did I jump too far ahead? Sorry. I thought that's where you were.
Nope.
Snape is in his pajamas, just like ranting, like, it's Harry Potter.
Well, it was useful to reread this because the timing of the events is clearer. So it's like Barty Crouch, spoilers, aka Foodie, aka Fake Moody, is in Snape's like potions room stealing stuff.
Yes.
Then Harry drops the egg. Then Snape wakes up because of the egg noise.
Yes.
Tries to go investigate, goes by his room, and the door is unlocked and the lights are on.
Yes. Also, Foodie makes me feel like he has like an Instagram.
Yeah. He loves paninis.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and there's again sort of the partial information. It will be explained of like what Harry saw and what makes sense, because at first he's kind of like, wait a second, Barty Crouch is like sick. Well, what's the deal? What is up with that? And eventually it will be revealed. Well, and also the fact that Moody was the one who picked up the Marauders map and was fake Moody, was picked up the Marauder's map and was like talking to Harry. And not only that, him being like, "Can I borrow this?" and Harry just being like, "Oh, I thought I was gonna get in trouble or whatever."
No,
Like all of those
this
circumstances
is
coming
a
together.
really strong series of motives, like what you just said about the partial knowledge.
Mhm.
So you only get Harry's witnessing of it, and what you have is a bunch of characters who are like, well, especially fake Moody, lying
Yeah.
constantly, but how do they tuck away all of their lies? Like they tuck it away in sense of like, I hate people who
Oh,
I
yeah.
hate Snape, type
The
thing.
Death Eaters who got away or however he
Yeah,
phrased
and
it.
I think it's
Well, yeah, because that even was like a line where Harry had a reaction where it was just like, "Oh, is he saying what I think he's saying?" sort
yeah.
of thing.
Well, this is, I think, what you were saying. It's just the whole scene is really well conceptualized because it's another one of those scenes where you get to the end of the book
Mhm.
and you go read this scene again, knowing what you know then, you can see it word for word, but with a completely different
Mhm.
thing. Where it's always that mystery of like, it's hidden, right? Because we're so invested in Harry's experience of like, I hope I don't get caught, and I hope like that's mine,
Well, yeah, that's the intensity of the scene is you're just like, "Oh, no, everything's gonna fall apart right here."
right? But the real question of the scene is Barty Crouch, and then these lights being on. Why would somebody do this? Why was Barty Crouch there when like he shouldn't be? And where is he?
Nobody knows. He's
Yeah.
right in front of your face hole.
It's really well done, yeah.
Yeah.
I also really appreciate, so like the time turners are such plot being able to do something like that could drive any story where it's like, well, you can use a time turner. So it's hard to ever imagine like, so she had to put those away and get them destroyed. But bringing back Polyjuice Potion here, I think is really useful. And it happens again in book 7.
Mm.
7. Another use of Polyjuice Potion because it's an extremely powerful thing. Being able to pretend to be somebody else completely indistinguishably. Yeah.
Yes. It's a problem.
Well, I just like that it comes back up because
Well, yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
so often I think when you hear stories like when there's that type of power, it's only ever used by the good guys, right?
Well, what's funny is
But
that
this is actually executed incredibly well by the bad guys.
this has happened before, though, specifically with Polyjuice and Snape. Like, they went into
They
his
swing
Yeah,
flies,
they literally went in there
who
and stole the
sling
same
skin.
things, like,
Yep.
also
You and your friends are making Polyjuice Potion.
yeah, yeah. Why don't
Well,
you put
that's this movie
a
because
magical
he accuses them. He accuses Harry of making Polyjuice
No,
Potion.
but what I'm saying is they made Polyjuice Potion before,
Yeah.
so, like, it's the same thing. Put some trackers on your ingredients or something, like, you have
He
magic.
locks the door.
Okay.
I do love the idea of like, no, but he's like, it can only be unlocked by a wizard. I'm like, well, yeah, but this is a school for wizards.
Oh my gosh. Rita says a Polyjuice Potion could be used when you wanna lose weight the easy way, just
It's
like,
pretty nasty though. I don't know.
Yeah, you have to eat, like, the
It's
toenail
actually it's
or,
used
like
twice in
it's not necessarily a
its
toenail,
hair.
it's like, no, I think it's any, like don't they use a toenail for something? Am I imagining this? I feel like they use a toenail of somebody. Okay, maybe I'm
Maybe
misremembering.
you're probably right.
Do they
Yeah.
use a toenail of somebody to make
Get
Polyjuice
back to us
Potion?
about
I feel like what do you think Constance used in Wizards Unite for well, probably just, like, Hermione's hair. She just, like, went into the office, grabbed, like, a piece of hair from her jacket or something.
yeah,
But
because actually it gets used twice in book 7. It's the 7 Harrys, and then it also
oh,
gets used when
I
they
always
go to the
forget about
Ministry
the
with
7 Harrys.
Bellatrix.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, 3 times. Because they do the Bellatrix, then they also do the Ministry of Magic break-in. So they do Gringotts with Bellatrix, Ministry of Magic, and the Seven Harrys.
Yes, they do. With that guy's name that I never remember.
Reginald or
Yeah,
something.
Reginald. You knew what I was gonna say.
Something Reg, right? They call him Reg. I don't remember his last name. Reginald Hornsby or
I
something.
cannot commit it. Hornsby?
Yeah. No,
Olive's dad.
Ah, yeah. No wonder that was in my head. Yeah.
I can never, for the life of me, remember that guy's name. Doesn't matter.
Codswallop.
Codswallop. Yep, that's it. Well, Foodie planted the seed, but he has like the thinking of, oh, kind of like this is the first time I've thought about this, sort of. That's the impression I got from that.
Yeah,
those
he's
like
only
last
like 14.
I guess, but like if you're like, oh, you should be a professor, Harry. No, you should be an Auror. It's true.
Yeah, I don't think he should do either of those things.
What do you think Harry Potter should have done? Write a book.
Yeah, it's a tough question. I don't know. It's not clear, like...
He should have been a professional Quidditch player. Where did that go?
I don't know if he's good enough.
Oh, you think that he's just like university...
Yeah,
sport good.
high school sports.
High school sports.
Yeah. I think it's... I don't know. I guess like a detective or dark wizard hunter makes some sense. But he's not he needs Hermione to do a lot of the actual deduction.
Yeah. She's in charge.
Because he basically has bravery. And a willingness to sacrifice himself.
Yeah, Harry doesn't seem like so.
He's good at
eventually, we see that he is the head of the Aurors, basically.
Yeah,
he's head of that, but it's hard for me to imagine.
Symbolic.
Well, it's hard for me to imagine him actually being like, let me delegate
a 9 to 5.
Let me delegate tasks to people rather than like, oh, I'll just do it myself.
Well, that's what happened in Wizards United.
It is what happened. He was like, oh, I'm just gonna go meet up with the dark cabal of witches and wizards. Yeah. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Everything will be good.
Or Harry.
Or Harry. Jeffrey. I laughed at that title when I saw it. I was like, oh,
first I named it Or Jeffrey, and then I was like, no.
But you named it Or Jeffrey?
Harry. Yeah, because I was like, oh, yeah.
Oh.
When I was brainstorming.
Yeah.
But good chapter. Lots going on.
All that I have.
Next time Harry drowns.
Well, there's more. There's more.
Oh, you mean he does manage it?
Yeah, and I think Ron is.
This should be my new persona. I
pretend
I haven't read.
You just say lies. You're like, oh, this is what.
Oh, he does. He survives. Oh,
they resurrect Ron.
Why do you keep saying fake Moody?
With 1,000 gold pieces worth of diamonds and.
Wow.
There is no res spell in the wizarding world. So.
I like that idea. In this completely alternative universe, Harry doesn't ever figure out the task.
Mm-hmm.
So Cedric doesn't tell him about the egg. So he shows up on the day and he's just like, I don't know what to do. So he jumps in, splashes around for a couple minutes, and then Ron dies.
He's like, I can't swim.
All right. See y'all next time.
Oh no, that oh my gosh. And then Percy becomes actually the big bad evil guy in the end.
Already is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Until next time. One's ready.